guys, thanks for joining us on Life on Fountain Hill. Tonight we are going to be making one of our favorite meals to make, which is meatloaf. Of course, we all know the best thing to mix your meatloaf with is these little things right here. So you might wonder why I have a spoon. That's just to keep them in mind. So I'm gonna get over there and get started chopping this onion up so we can get that into our mix and get our meatloaf all done.
Let the peelage of the onion commence.
In a trash bowl.
Can you put onions in the compost?
Yeah. Put onions in the compost all the time.
Uh-oh, dropped a little bit.
Look at it. So I'm just gonna dice this onion up, and normally like the recipes mostly call for just a half of an onion, but we really like onion, so we'll be putting the whole thing in there.
While she's cutting up the onion, let's go over the ingredients. We're gonna have 2 pounds of ground beef. A lot of people like to use old-fashioned oats, and we like to use quick oats just because it seems to just cook a little better in the meat and just leaves a good creamy texture instead of it being grainy like it can get sometimes if you use the old-fashioned oats. We're going to use a little bit of crushed red pepper, and of course we're going to have ketchup and a little bit of honey and some barbecue sauce for the glaze. A couple of eggs, and we're going to use Tony's for our seasoned salt, and garlic powder, and one of my favorites, chipotle powder. That stuff is so good on chicken, beef. We put it on our steaks, our eggs. It's just delicious. We love it. She's got the onions all cut up nice and finely chopped. If you chop them up too coarse, they don't cook all the way through, and you'll have the onion will be just kind of like, oh, I can't explain it. Just how would you describe it, babe? Just uncooked onion in your just uncooked onion. Yeah. This was a 5-pound log that we bought at Brookshire Brothers, and we made hamburger patties out of it the other day with the family. Came over this weekend, and everybody was just oohing and ahhing over the hamburgers. They were just delicious. So we know that we got a good cut of meat right here. The fat content was perfect, and the beef content was perfect. She's gonna go ahead and crack the eggs.
I need a cup.
A measuring cup?
Yeah.
Prep time on this is almost non-existent because everything's already ready to be mixed as soon as you start putting everything in the bowl, and you just pop it in a pan and you cook it for about an hour, or until the temperature reaches about 160, 165, somewhere in there.
Okay, so for our meatloaf recipe, so far what we have in here is we have 1 whole yellow onion. It's a small to medium onion. Don't use a super large one, or I'd only use half. And then we have 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and then we have 2 cups of oats, and we've put 2 eggs in there. So now we're gonna add in a half of a cup of ketchup and a half of a cup of barbecue sauce. And then we are just going to use our eyeballs and just season it to our preference with all the other seasonings that we like. Excuse you, where's my spoon?
I believe that was the bottle that did that noise.
No, you just deserve a spoon whacking. That's my favorite.
What, garlic powder?
Yes.
Well, hell, here you go. Little chipotle powder. Can you use the measuring spoon for the salt? I don't want to overdo the salt. That's the only thing about this.
For the salt?
Yes.
For the Tonys?
Yeah. Seasoned salt. It says 2 teaspoons. And we've gone by that recipe, and it turns out perfect.
One. Two. And a little to grow on.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, my goodness.
I told you, not too much red pepper flakes.
I don't think that's what made me sneeze, babe. I didn't sneeze on it. Oh.
I guess I'll mix it with spoon to start with. Then we'll get the good utensils in there.
I'm going to show y'all a trick here in a little while with the cooking pan. I want y'all to y'all comment down below what's your favorite side with meatloaf. Is it going to be mashed potatoes or string beans or green beans or a side salad? Let us know. We'd love to hear what y'all like to eat with your meatloaf. What I like to do is line my pan with aluminum foil. I double it over a couple times so it's kind of thick on the bottom. So whenever the meatloaf is done, and you can fold these wings up, and you have basically a good little lifting device. Otherwise, it may fall apart on you trying to get it out.
This is my favorite part.
It does have an odd feeling, doesn't it?
It's like going back to being a kid and playing with Play-Doh and all that stuff. And the best part is when I'm done, I'm gonna chase you around and, I don't know, maybe wipe it all over you. Just kidding.
I don't want it.
I know, I wouldn't do that. I'd probably drop it on the floor and make a mess to clean up.
Trick is just to get it all kneaded and
Super moist.
so yeah, just get it all super moist.
Glad my fingernails aren't very long.
One thing about it, you can't overdo this because it just makes it more tender.
I think we're good when you put it in the pan.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're going to have to do it because my hands are dirty.
I think you can plop it in there.
All right, bring it over here.
Hold on.
About the size of a candle.
Bowling ball.
Got a few pieces I gotta pick. It's gonna be a good dinner tonight. Got all those yummy onions in there. Alrighty.
Go ahead and set your oven to 350 degrees. For the glaze, we're going to start with about a couple tablespoons of honey, and we're going to put about a tablespoon or so of brown sugar, and we're going to put some ketchup and some more barbecue sauce in here. What you want to do, you just want to brush it on top, and if you have any left over, it makes a perfect topping when it's done, and you can put some on your meatloaf before you eat it. If you don't like sweet honey glaze, you could just do the old-fashioned, just basically just put ketchup on top. Now just mix her up real good. One last ingredient, I forgot one thing, hold on. Just a splash of Worcestershire sauce. Just mix it thoroughly until the brown sugar melts. Liberally brush our meatloaf with our glaze, and it may just be easier to spoon it on and then brush it out. You don't want to put so much on that it just starts flowing over the sides. You don't want to make a mess in your oven for sure. But we'll baste this 2 or 3 times during the cooking process. Extra so it doesn't burn. This pan is a little bit overfilled. We did put a whole onion in here, and it probably might have been just a little bit over 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I'm going to play this safe, and I'm going to put a pizza pan right underneath the meatloaf so I can put that on the top rack, and then the pizza pan will catch any drippings. We're going to cook it for about 1 hour, and then we're going to check the temperature. I've got one of these, and you don't have to have one of these fancy schmancy wireless thermometers, but I'm just going to stick this one down right in the middle, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can get this thermometer on Amazon, and they work great. I think they're less than 20 bucks. Just set her in the middle of the rack. Close the lid, or the door rather. And we're about 62 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it reaches 180, we're gonna pull her out and we'll let her rest. Almost done. Just about got that down to a science. 160 degrees and 1 hour. Probe out of there. Carefully lift her out of there. It's gonna be good. We're just gonna have to let her sit there for a little while.
It looks yummy. Can't wait.
Alrighty guys. Let's see if my trick works like it always does. Like a glove.
In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. What about a 1-inch piece?
That's fine.
burnt part. Let's try it. We know it's good. We've had it a million times.
Delicious.
Holy crap, it's creamy. I mean, it's not dry, nothing. And I bet this Great Dane right here would love a big old bite of it.
He's licking his lips. You'll go lay down, be good babies.
Got us some mixed greens or mixed vegetables. That was seasoned up with some Tonys.
I love it.
Needs just a little bit of sauce on top.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys, for our dinner tonight. If you want to try this recipe, I highly recommend it. It's freaking amazing.
It is good. We'll link in the description below with all the ingredients and the measurements and stuff like that. So basically, we'll put the recipe down below. And we'll see y'all guys on the next video.
Bye, guys. We gotta eat. See you later.